geography, we have come to know that the textbook is related with the comparison between India and Brazil. And by now you must have become acquainted that in the different lessons in the textbook, now we have to study about the physical features of Brazil and India, their location in different continents and different hemispheres, the climate that is prevailing in both the countries. At the same time, we also have to study about vegetation, animal life in these both countries. Then we are going to study about the population, structure of population, then human settlements in these countries, and the development of occupations and trade, at the same time development of economy and the tourism in the countries. Today we are going to focus on the climatic conditions of Brazil and India. As you know, India is located in northern hemisphere and eastern hemisphere. On the other hand, Brazil is located in the southern hemisphere, western hemisphere, and northern part of Brazil is in northern hemisphere. Tropic of Cancer passes through the central part of India, and both the equator and Tropic of Capricorn, they pass through Brazil. Equator passes through the northern part of Brazil, and therefore from 0 degree latitude to 5 degrees north and south latitude, the region of these 10 degrees comes under the equatorial region. At the same time, the Tropic of Capricorn passes through the central part of Brazil, south central part of Brazil, and as a result, we find the climatic conditions, they are quite different from the northern part of Brazil. In India, we find there are some factors which are affecting the climatic conditions. And mainly these factors are the Himalayas in the north and the Indian Ocean to the south. Actually, the vast expanse of our country and the high wall of Himalayas in the north and the Indian Ocean, Arabian Sea to the west and Bay of Bengal to the east and Indian Ocean to the south. The location of the country and the peninsular part of the country, all these factors, they have affected the climatic conditions in India. India experiences the monsoon type of climatic conditions. On the other hand, Brazil has equatorial climatic conditions in the northern part. It is having the different cold climatic conditions in the southern part. Then in the eastern part, it experiences ample of rainfall, and in the Brazilian highlands, it experiences drought-like conditions. So it depends upon the location of the country, at the same time the physical features that are prevailing in the country. So these are the factors which are affecting the climatic conditions. Today, we are going to see the climatic conditions in both the countries with the help of the question answers. And you can see on your screen, the first question that is given here, it is explain the importance of Himalayas and Indian Ocean with respect to the climate of India. Now let's see how Himalayas and Indian Ocean, they are important for having the monsoon type of climate in India. They play a very important role in the formation of southeast monsoon winds. The winds that are coming from the Indian Ocean and Arabian Sea, their direction is from southwest to northeast. So they are moving from southwest to northeast. So they are known as the southwest monsoon winds. These winds, they start coming towards India by the end of the summer season. During summer, India experiences high temperature, and temperature rises more than 40 degrees Celsius in the northern part of the country like Rajasthan and Punjab region. As a result, Thar Desert and Punjab plains, they experience high temperature with low air pressure. On the contrary, temperature is low on the Indian Ocean and therefore there is high air pressure on the oceanic region. Now the winds, they start blowing from the oceans to the land. That means from high pressure to low air pressure region. So the winds start blowing from southwest to northeast. Okay. When these winds coming from Indian Ocean and Arabian Sea, they enter in Indian Peninsula, they are obstructed by the Western Ghats. As a result, the western coastal area or coastal plains, they receive very heavy orographic rainfall. When these winds, they cross the Western Ghats and they enter in the peninsular part, interior part of the country, in the central part, they give high to medium rainfall, and when they reach up to the northern part of the country, there they are obstructed by the high walls of lofty Himalayas. Okay, so the western coast of India and southern part of India receives very heavy rainfall. Immediately after crossing the Western Ghats, what happened? The eastern slope of Western Ghat, it comes under rain shadow region, and therefore the peninsular part like Maharashtra and Karnataka region, that comes under rain shadow region, and therefore there is very less rainfall. When these winds, they move towards northeast, they come across the central part of India and there they give medium rainfall in the region of Satpura and Vindhya ranges, and then they move further towards Shivalik ranges, eastern Himalayas and Purvanchal. So they are obstructed by Shivalik ranges, eastern Himalayas and Purvanchal, and therefore they have to turn or change their direction. So the journey of these monsoon winds, southwest monsoon winds, is from month of June to September. By the end of September, they reach up to the Himalayas, the southern slopes of Himalayas. So they give rainfall on the southern slopes. Heavy rainfall occurs on the southern slopes of eastern Himalayas and Purvanchal, because the southwest monsoon winds which are coming from Bay of Bengal, they are moisture laden, and when they are obstructed by the Purvanchal, Garo, Khasi, Jantia, Naga, Patkoi, Lusha hills, they give heavy rainfall on the southern slope. So Cherrapunji and Mausinram, they receive very heavy rainfall. And then by the end of September, when these winds become dry, because of the lofty Himalayas, they cannot cross the mountains, and then they change their direction and they start blowing towards south and start blowing towards Indian Ocean. Now their direction becomes from northeast to southwest. While their returning journey, these winds are known as retreating monsoon winds, northeast monsoon winds. They come from Bay of Bengal again. So when they are coming from Bay of Bengal, they are again moisture laden. And when they are obstructed by the eastern Ghats on the Indian peninsula, they give rainfall on the eastern coast of India, that is in the states of Orissa, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. So this happens in the month of December, November and December. So these winds, northeast retreating monsoon winds, they give rainfall on the eastern coast of Indian peninsula in the month of December. Okay, so India receives rainfall, monsoon rainfall from June to September, and winter rainfall on the eastern coast in the month of December. So June to September is rainfall from the southwest monsoon winds, and in December on the eastern coast rainfall from the retreating monsoon winds. Okay, so when the Indian Oceans are present there to the south of the peninsula, the winds are moisture laden, and when they are obstructed by the mountain ranges, they are giving orographic rainfall in India from June to September. And as Himalayas is there on the northern side of India, it is obstructing these winds, and winds are obstructed and they are changing their direction. So they are giving winter rainfall on the eastern coast. One more importance is there of Himalayas, that it is obstructing the cold winds coming from North Pole. The cold chilled winds, when they come towards Himalayas, they are obstructed. They cannot cross Himalayas. So these winds cannot enter in India. So in India, we find overall climatic conditions are warm. They are not very cold and not very hot. Okay? So it is because of the presence of Himalayas in the north and Indian Ocean to the south that we are having the mild climatic condition, warm conditions in India, and 4 months rainfall, that is monsoon type of climatic conditions in India. So this is about the importance of Himalayas and Indian Ocean. Okay, now let's see the next question that is given here, and it is discuss the factors affecting climate of Brazil. As I have told you earlier, that climatic conditions, they depend on the location of the country, in particular continent or the hemisphere, and also the climate is dependent on the physical features that are prevailing in the particular country. Okay. Now, when we consider Brazil for climate, then we see that proximity of equator, then the Brazilian highlands, location of Brazilian highlands, and the great escarpment to the east of Brazil. These three factors, coupled with the Atlantic Ocean to the north and east of Brazil, these are the factors which are affecting climatic conditions in Brazil. Now the equator, it passes through the northern part of Brazil, and therefore from 0 to 5 degrees north and south, we find the equatorial climatic conditions. That means very high temperature and heavy rainfall throughout the year. This region, equatorial region, or the region of Amazon basin, that region receives perpendicular sun rays throughout the year and heavy rainfall throughout the conventional rainfall throughout the year. As a result, the climatic conditions in the northern part of Brazil, they are hot and humid conditions. Now, when we come to the south from the Amazon basin, we see that the in the Amazon basin, climate is hot, humid, which is very unhealthy climatic condition, and the soil is marshy, and the dense equatorial forests are there. But as we move towards south from the Amazon basin, we come to the Brazilian highlands. Now, the Brazilian highlands, there we find the amount of rainfall decreases. Temperature is high, but amount of rainfall decreases. The reason here is the trade winds which are coming from the Atlantic Ocean, South Atlantic Ocean. These winds are blowing from southeast to northwest. And when they come enter in Brazil on the eastern coast, they are obstructed by the Great Escarpment. This Great Escarpment acts as a high wall or a barrier, and it obstructs the winds coming from southeast, trade winds. Now these winds, as they are coming from the ocean, they are moisture laden. So they give rainfall, orographic rainfall on the eastern coast of Brazil. But when these winds, they cross the high wall of Great Escarpment, the moisture laden capacity of the winds increases, and these winds reach up to the Brazilian highlands. The temperature also increases. So these winds give very less rainfall, and a rain shadow region is developed on the northeastern part of Brazilian highlands. This rain shadow region receives very less rainfall, and therefore we find the region of drought quadrilateral is developed on the northeastern part of Brazilian highlands. The equatorial region, it receives rainfall up to 2000 millimeters. Okay. On the other hand, the average rainfall on the eastern coast of Brazil is 1000 to 1200 millimeters. Okay. That is in the coastal region. In northern region, 2000 millimeters. On the Brazilian highlands, the temperature is high and rainfall is very less, that is near about 600 millimeters. So here we have seen that northern part of Brazil is having hot and humid climatic conditions. Brazilian highlands is having hot and dry conditions. On the other hand, eastern coast of Brazil is having what type of climate? They are having mild temperature and ample of rainfall. Now, the northeast part of Brazil receives minimum rainfall and therefore it is known as broad quadrilateral. Southern part of Brazil, it has cold and cold climate and it receives moderate rainfall. The region to the south of Tropic of Capricorn, it is having medium temperature and medium rainfall. So this is about the factors which are affecting climate of Brazil. So let's proceed to the next question then. And the next question is geographical reasons. And the first one is the northeastern part of Brazilian highlands receives very less rainfall. And just now we have discussed that the region is known as the broad quadrilateral, isn't it? Why is it so? Because the winds that are coming towards Brazil, they are coming from South Atlantic Ocean. Okay, the direction of the winds is southeast to northwest. These winds are known as the trade winds. When these winds they enter in Brazil, they are obstructed by Great Escarpment. And when they are obstructed by Great Escarpment, they give heavy rainfall on the eastern coast of Brazil. When these winds they cross Great Escarpment and reach the other side, that is western part of Great Escarpment, they enter in Brazilian highlands. On the Brazilian highlands, the temperature increases and therefore moisture laden capacity of the winds also increases. So they give very less rainfall on the northeastern part of Brazilian highlands. So this region comes under rain shadow region. The temperature is high, rainfall is less than 600 millimeters, and therefore the drought-like conditions are developed on the northeastern part of Brazilian highland. And therefore it is known as drought quadrilateral. Okay, so let's proceed to the next question there. India receives precipitation from the northeast monsoon winds too. The northeast monsoon winds, they are coming from the eastern Himalayas. They are coming from the Himalayas and they are blowing towards the Indian Ocean. These winds are also known as the retreating monsoon winds. The southwest monsoon winds coming from Indian Ocean and Bay of Bengal, their direction is southwest to northeast. They give rainfall all over India from June to September. These southwest monsoon winds, when they reach up to the foothills of Himalayas, by the end of September, they cannot cross Himalayas as these are the lofty mountains. So they change their direction and they start blowing towards south to the Indian Ocean. Now their direction becomes from northeast to southwest. Okay, so they are blowing from India to Indian Ocean. While coming down or coming towards south, they are traveling from the Bay of Bengal. So earlier these winds were dry. When they reach up to Himalayas, they are dry. But when they are changing their direction, returning, retreating, when they are coming from Bay of Bengal, they again become moisture laden. And when they start blowing from the southern part of the Indian peninsula, they are obstructed by the eastern Ghats. So when they are obstructed by Eastern Ghats, they give rainfall on the eastern coast of India. So the states like Orissa, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, they receive rainfall during winter by the retreating monsoon winds, that means northeast monsoon winds. So India receives precipitation by the northeast monsoon winds too for 4 months from southwest monsoon winds. Okay, and in winter the eastern part of India receives rainfall from northeast monsoon winds. Okay, so now let's see the next question, and that question is, tropical cyclones occur rarely in Brazil. Okay, actually these tropical cyclones occur in India frequently on the eastern coast, also on the western coast. We find these tropical cyclones by the end of say summer or beginning of the rainy season. The tropical cyclones hit in India, but they occur very rarely in Brazil. The reason behind is that the northern part of Brazil, it is the equatorial region. The equator passes through the northern part of Brazil. And therefore, from 0 degrees to 5 degrees north and 5 degrees south, the equatorial belt, this region, it experiences very high temperature. Throughout the year, the region receives perpendicular sun rays. As the sun rays are perpendicular and throughout the year temperature is very high, there is no a fluctuation in temperature. Okay, continuously the temperature ranges between 28 degrees to 30 degrees Celsius. As there is no fluctuation, there is no less temperature or a high temperature, the air pressure in the region also remains the same. Air pressure also is the same, and therefore as the tendency of the winds is what, they blow from high pressure to low pressure. As there is no change in the air pressure, the winds do not blow. So in this equatorial region, the winds do not blow. Then what happened? They move upwards, vertically upwards. Okay? The winds are not formed. The winds move vertically upward and air currents are formed. Winds are not formed, but air currents are formed. Okay, and the winds are, they do not go to other region from the equatorial region, and the winds also do not come to equatorial region from the other parts. Okay, so the winds are not blowing, only the air currents are going upward, and then convectional rainfall occurs. Okay, and therefore the region is also known as the region of doldrums, where no wind system is found. Okay, when there is no wind system, when the winds are not blowing, naturally the cyclones are not going to occur. Another reason for cyclones is what, when the cold winds and the hot winds, they come together, they collide with each other, then the cyclones are formed. But here, as the winds are not coming and going, there is no question of cyclones, and therefore tropical cyclones occur rarely in Brazil. You just have to remember one thing, is it is because of the equitable temperature. Equal temperature throughout the year, equal air pressure throughout the year, no wind blowing, only vertical air currents are forming. So area of doldrum. I hope this is clear to you. We have discussed about the climatic conditions in Brazil and climatic conditions in India. I hope the factors and the points are very much clear to you. Thank you.